Good morning, Rotarians. Thank you for joining us. This club meeting is called to order. Hey, shortly I'll be sharing my screen and leading us through another fun presentation to direct the conversation. Periodically, I'll bring it down so we can see each other's beautiful and friendly faces and engage in more dialogue. Family and friends are always welcome to attend our club meetings, so don't hesitate to invite someone like that neighbor that brought you over a cup of sugar the other day, huh? Feel free to speak out as you would in an in-person meeting, but if you're not using your microphone, be sure to put yourself on mute, or else I'll do it for the cost of a club fine. All right. Well, welcome everybody to the Fortuna Sunrise Rotary Club meeting for June 2nd, 2021, volume 48 of my presidential year. I think I've got 4 more left out of this. Hold your applause. We have an amazing Rotary Club, and I am so thankful to be a part of it. And at that, why not introduce some of our guests this morning? Looks like we have Bill Morrill this morning has joined us from the Southwest Eureka Club. Bill, salute, sir. Thanks for being here.
Good morning.
And
Thank you, Simon, for your greeting.
You're so very welcome. Thanks for joining us. You're always welcome. Let's see. We also have Andrea Bruhnke. Thanks for being here, Andrea. And we also, good morning. And we also have Barbara LaHaie. Hello. And they'll be talking with us later as they're our speakers this morning. So outstanding. Thank you so very much. Oh, you know what I didn't do was ask somebody to do the 4-way test. Let's see, who's due for it? How about Seth McGrath? Would you be willing to do the 4-way test this morning, sir? I got another slide, so you got time to catch up. If you're good, just give me a thumbs up. How about that?
I'm good. I can do it.
All right, super. All right, we'll do the history flag salute thing, and then we'll get into it. Thank you so much, Seth. All right. Well, at this time, we would typically be doing the flag salute, but those things are kind of hit or miss in a Zoom meeting. You know, nobody can talk in unison. Maybe some of us aren't wearing pants and we stand up and reveal it all to the world. So why not a little bit of an American history lesson? Did you know on this day in 1935, Babe Ruth retires, ending his major league playing career after 22 seasons, 10 World Series, and 714 home runs. His lifetime statistics included 2,873 hits, 506 doubles, 2,174 runs, 2,214 RBIs, a .342 batting average, and a .474 on-base percentage, and not to mention a .69 slugging percentage. And this was a quote. It wasn't that he hit more home runs than anybody else, but he hit them better. He hit them higher, further, and more theatrically timed with a more flamboyant flourish. And that was from Red Smith, the 1976 Spink Award winner. I thought that was a pretty cool quote. Inspirational message. When the winds of change blow, some people build walls and others build windmills. Interesting. And we'll move it on to our 4-way test. Seth McGrath, thank you so much.
All right. The 4-way test are the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Outstanding. Thank you so much. Without missing a beat, you're an outstanding Rotarian. Thank you so much, Seth. Okay. Well, what's happening? Hey,
hey, Simon, may I interrupt?
Yes, please. Ross,
but do I see Jennifer Strong, our district governor nominee at the meeting?
Whatever that title is. Yes, I snuck in 2 minutes late.
Well, welcome, Jennifer. Thanks for joining us.
Sure. Thanks for having me. It's good to see you guys. I look forward to being able to see you all in person. So I thought I would just hop in and say hello this morning.
Killer. Thank you so very much. What a treat. How was traffic driving up here?
It was a long walk from the bedroom to the dining room this morning. I'm actually off this week, so you guys get the baseball hat. So,
Killer. Hey, it's a Rotary baseball hat. We'll take it.
There you go. There you go. Thanks for having me. It's good to see you guys.
You betcha. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see here. Okay. Anything? Okay. I'm gonna pull up the meeting the thing on the screen, whatever this is called. So I guess no big announcements, but maybe huge announcement. Maybe in-person meetings, June 16th, ? So, hey, I'm going to bring this down. Yeah, I took over this presidency, in July of last year. I have not had one in-person meeting, as you'd expect in the world that we're living, but potentially June 15th, some magical date where restrictions will get loosened. As is, the location where we normally meet is open to having us. They were interested in having us back a long time ago, but the temperature wasn't right, so to speak. But it's looking like this might be a thing. So the first thing I want to ask is, if we did in a couple of weeks, say June 16th, based on restrictions and all that, if we did have an in-person meeting, show of hands from our club members, how many of y'all would show up to that thing? Okay. Understood. And is there some folks, and I'm definitely down to do this during my presidential year. I don't want to commit our incoming president, but is there some folks that would still like to join via Zoom? I know. Okay. Okay. I see one hand. Sweet.
Carrie Anderson by default.
Thank you, Carrie. Yeah. Awesome. So it looks like the vast majority of us, maybe a couple that might not show up. And then I know there's some folks that prefer not to do these Zoom meetings. So we might have a couple of people we haven't seen in a while show up. That'll be pretty outstanding. So we're tentatively planning on it, in-person meeting June 16th. Now, who knows what will happen if anything has taught us in this last year and a half or so, prepare for the unprepared and be prepared to pivot. But I will send out an email that I've done through my entire years of presidency, just letting you know as it gets closer. There'll be a reminder next week. We'll talk about it some more. If anybody has any personal questions or concerns, don't feel like voicing them here in a public setting in the club meeting. Please, you get emails from me every week. My phone number's in it. Give me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email, whatever, smoke signals, carrier pigeons, any way you want to get a message to me, I'd really appreciate it. All right. Diller. Well. Let's see. And we've got a couple of awesome Rotarians have rolled in a little late here. We got Dennis Scott in the house. Thanks for joining us, Dennis, and Heck Wood and Peter Fennell. Salute. Thanks for being here. Okay. Well, let's see. Backpacks. This is our partnership with Food for People, where we get food in the hands of folks with food insecurities at home, right? And what we do is we pack up these bags full of food. They go out to the schools or the people's houses on Thursdays or Fridays, and it kind of keeps them going through the weekend. Say the best meals they're getting are the school lunches that they provide and breakfast and stuff. So it's a really cool program. And we're just about to the end. This week we have Jeannie Weiss and Shirley Lipa. And next week is nothing. It's summer break. And we go on a 2-month hiatus from that. So outstanding. Two folks on the list for this week. I know that is a little light. I know there's probably people that are going to be there regardless, but Steve, what's the temperature check on that? Do we need a couple extra bodies there today, or you think you're covered?
Well, I think we're covered. We've got 2 or 3 people that never sign up, but they're always there, and that's Herb and Rick Center and Sherry Jewett. Sherry's out of town, but I think we're covered for today. They will be taking the Gene Lucas Center will be taking some pictures today of our backpackers in action, bag packers, I should say, in action. So they can do a little publicity of what they have been through this pandemic and loaning us the room to do the packing in. So I sure appreciate everyone who has volunteered to help pack bags. It's been it's been fun to get at least a small group together and do something good.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Steve, for your leadership in that. And thank you for all the club members that show up every week and help out, whether you're on the recognition thing that I put up or not. A lot of times we see community members that are signing up, but I know that there's a handful of y'all that just show up every week and knock that out. And goodness. What was our final count on backpacks? I'm sorry if you said that. Could you repeat it one more time?
148 is what we've been packing for about the last 4 months, something like that.
Wow, 148. Standing. Good to hear. Okay. Cool. Well, hey, so my career is an art educator, and so during my presidential year, something that I've been doing that I've thought is pretty fun. It's really been cool to see the group kind of grow and get more comfortable with the format. But we've been looking at an artist. Looking over their work, and then I pick on somebody from the club to critique, interpret, or discuss that person's work. And lately, it's kind of joined into this kind of not entire club, but more of a group conversation towards the end of it. So one person, gets the fine, if you will, and everybody else kind of joins in the talking. So sometimes that might soften the fine a little bit. So this week, who are we going to look at? As always, I've got a little suggestion in the back here. Who's gonna be? Well, this week, none other than Louise Bourgeois. So beautiful portrait here with some of her work beneath her. Fiery French artist. I think you'll love some of her work. It's pretty trippy. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so Louise, with a career that spanned over 8 decades, okay? From the 1930s to 2010 when she passed away. Louise Bourgeois, she's one of the great figures of modern and contemporary art. She's best known for her large-scale sculptures and installations, which inspired by her memories and experiences. Whatever materials or processes that Louise Bourgeois used to create her powerful artworks, the main force behind her artwork was through her troubled childhood memories. These memories were not specific, but a layering of emotional responses to the complicated relationship she had with her parents and the relationship that they had with each other. Bourgeois' mother, Josephine, suffered from ill health, and Louise cared for her for long periods of time up until Louise was 22 when her mother passed away. This and her father's unfaithfulness. He had a series of mistresses. It led her to a fear of abandonment, a key theme that you see throughout her work. And also the backdrop of the entire picture is the First World War, which began when she was 3 years old and made traumatic memories of her childhood even more intense. And here we've got some of her work. There's this massive spider-like sculpture that's outside of the MoMA. Just a gorgeous piece, right? Just fantastic. We've also got the eyes that you're seeing behind my head here on the screen. We've got this piece that's kind of like a cross between textiles and sculpture, where she's taken a soft material and made this face out of it. Really beautiful. And then we've got 2 suspended figures. It's a little small on the bottom right, but I just love it. It's these 2 suspended figures that are kind of surrealist. They're kind of ebbing and flowing, and they have all these ripples to them, almost like they're getting their figures getting displaced in water or something like that, almost hugging together, almost interlocked. And then we've got this bed, example of some of her painting style stuff, because she did that a long time before she actually got into sculpture work, which is what she's more well known for. This bed, and if you look really closely, there's some suggestions of human form in there. You see some lips kind of on the edge of it, right? She played a lot with this kind of theme of domestication, right? And being locked inside of a house. And on that note, we'll go to our next slide. Cells. So Louise began to make her self-enclosed structures known as cells in 1989, and they became an important part of her output for many years. In these works, she explores themes of being trapped, anguish, fear. The word cell can refer to both an enclosed room, as in a prison, as well as the most basic elements of plant and animal life, right? The cells that make up her body. And this is how Bourgeois described how she saw the cells. Each cell deals with the fear. Fear is pain. Each cell deals with a pleasure of the voyeur, the thrill of looking and being looked at. Wow. And then one last quote, because some of her work you would see is a little like, I don't know, dark and you know, that she's dealing with all these human feelings, right? Fear and pain and stuff. And somebody asked her in an interview, you know, is it unusual for you to make happy work? And she responded, no, 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 no. I transform nasty work into good work. I transform hate into love. That's what makes me tick. Wow, right? And so here we've got some of the cells piece. We've got the suspended person in a room. You've got from a photography standpoint, you've got something what we call framing, right? Where you're shooting through a hole in this little fence and looking in. There's a mirror creating this reflection of the suspended body. You see a suggestion of maybe a dress or some kind of underlying garment hanging on the wall. And then on the left side here, we've got all these floating orbs, another mirror, and what looks like a bed with a fear kind of curving off of the top of it. And you can see some distressed pieces of glass, broken glass, kind of metal cage-like elements to these cells. Really beautiful, immersive installation artwork, just gorgeous. Okay, and now I get a call on one of you guys to talk about it. It's your favorite part, isn't it? Why not Jeff Nelson this morning? Jeff, you still with us?
I keep telling you, there's no red in these things, so there's nothing to talk about.
There's nothing to talk about when it's not red. I know, I'm throwing you curveballs. But hey, you got to admit, out of all the work, I gave you a pretty tame piece here. This one's called The Welcoming Hands. Okay, Jeff, take a look at that. Tell me what you think.
Well, the piece on the right, it certainly goes along with that title. The smaller piece on the left, the fact that they're all cut off just above the wrists is a little unsettling in terms of something that would be welcoming.
Yeah, and actually, if you pulled back a little bit on the picture on the right, severed arms there too. So,
Be a good place to put the frame.
But that's yeah, no, that was probably intentionally done by the photographer. But you bring up a good point though. This severed arm, like, well, you know, maybe there's some deeper meaning there. I like that. Good observation. Anybody want to help Jeff out? I see he's kind of stumbling here. Anybody else in the house? Observations. It could be our guest too if you want to join in the fun. What do you think about this piece?
Simon, I have a comment about the person hanging in the last picture you showed.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Why not? Let's take a look.
It says, don't ask how they make sausage.
I think that would be an awesome title for that one. Oh boy. But more about the welcoming hands. How about medium? What I mean, it's obviously sculpture, but what was the medium that was used here? Anybody?
Oh, well, the one on the left looks like it's metallic, but the larger one, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, possibly.
Although it may very well be.
Yeah, it's either, my guess is either bronze or ceramics, right? And so the process of making those bronze sculptures that you're seeing on the left and the eyeballs behind me is quite a big undertaking, right? Because you build the entire model out of some material, whether it be clay or wood or whatever. Then you cast it, right? and then you're pouring the hot molten bronze in it to create these structures, which is just fascinating. I love the process of mold making. There's so much technical aspects to it, as opposed to, you know, a lot of art, you know, you get into this kind of creative and expressive piece to it, but working in bronze and sculptures is so much more intentional, right? There's a lot more thought that goes into every little step on it. Realistic.
I'm going to go really deep in that very first picture
Please.
of the spider. It reminds me of the morning television show called The Adventures of Johnny Quest. And in the open, they are shooting at this giant spider with a tank. That's how scary that spider is to me.
Johnny Quest was an awesome serial cartoon show. Love it, love it. I love the reference to that. And that's another thing about art, right? Is it takes us places based on our experiences, right? Our things that we've seen and felt, like the nostalgia. We look at things and we interpret different things based on our own experiences, right? And obviously she's inserting her own emotional content, her own feelings and experiences into these pieces. But when you look at them, you know, we're not looking at an artist statement here. We're drawing our own, you know, inspiration and using our own intuition and putting our own feelings in pieces. Interesting. Okay.
So I'll jump in.
Yeah,
So
please.
I'll jump in. The second one is interesting. I come from an artist family. I have an aunt that does a lot of bronze stuff. The second one is interesting because when I look at that, you know, obviously the first thing that catches my eye is the shadows, but the other thing that catches my eyes is trying to figure out how old that hand is, the one on the left. And when you first look at it, you almost kind of think that it's maybe a young person until you look at the knuckles.
Yeah.
And you sort of look at the knuckles on there and you realize that there's probably some arthritis in there. And you wonder what the story is, you know, who is that hand belong to? And it almost looks like it's probably someone who's maybe on their final, you know, their final trip around the sun kind of a deal. It is kind of interesting how you change how art can, when you first look at it, you have a vision of who it is until you look at it a little bit closer, and then it ends up being maybe somebody totally different.
Pow. Wow. Yeah.
Jennifer, you are now welcome to join our club.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was an outstanding observation, right? It does look very childlike at first glance, but the more you study it, definitely an older person's hand. I might even go out on a limb to say she might have modeled it after her hands, because a lot of her sculpture work was later in life. So you know, a lot of times artists, because you don't have a model, you're like, okay, I'm just gonna model this after or you're taking self-portraits or whatever, right? So my guess is there might be a little bit, you know, and I've also heard other artists say that we're always drawing ourselves, no matter who we're drawing, right? We're inserting, because we look at our face the most, right, in the mirror every day when we get up. So it's kind of imprinted in our line. Wow, that was a great dialogue. Anybody else? I see Penny maybe raising a hand. Penny.
Yeah, one is she's tremendously talented in that hands are some of the most difficult things to draw, paint, or sculpt. And Leonardo da Vinci did them over and over again, lots of hands, constant practice. So she did a great job. And as far as message, you know, a lot of these images are disturbing.
The only thing I can see is that fishing bridge.
Sorry.
The resolution in it is bringing some of these things to the surface, so people know they're not alone in whatever they've experienced.
Yes.
Simon?
Yes.
Before Penny pointed out what the hands really look like, my first thought was what that sculpture represents is what's really missing in the world today.
Yeah. What's that, Walt?
Well, we're so at odds with each other. There's not much welcoming going on anywhere in the world right now, it appears to me. And I find that rather spiritual, this sculpture rather spiritual and inspirational.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was a good one to end on, you know, because her work tends to be, you know, dealing with all these really heavy emotions. And then you have this one, which could go either way, but yeah. So totally. We need to get past our lines and separations and barriers between us and reach out and hold each other's hands, right? And yeah. Wow, man. What an awesome conversation. Jeff, I'm gonna say they let you off easy today because you were kind of struggling there, and then this just waterfall of great comments came through. So goodness, how about 5
Well,
bucks for Jeff Nelson? Is he in the Century Club?
Simon,
Yeah.
you know I'm a civil engineer, and by definition, we are not the most artsy people in the world.
Yeah, but,
so, and you seem to take great pleasure in picking on me.
well, Jeff, you know, we had that conversation about cement yesterday and tensile strength and pressure and stuff like that. And I thought, well, you know, here we've got bronze and, you know, this very kind of industrial material. I thought you would get a kick out of it, right? And there was some architectural feats in that giant spider. That thing was a good 20 feet tall. So I thought this was just a surefire win for you. But you're in the Century Club. I saw Ross giving me a thumbs up. You want to pass that 5 bones on to somebody else who's maybe a little.
Well, no, let's do 10 and do it to polio.
10 and do it to polio. Love it. Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you for the rest of the club for playing along. You guys are outstanding. Well, while we're on that theme, I've got no formal recognition this week, but don't worry. Before the end of my presidency, I intend to get every single club member that's showing up to these meetings weekly drawn. So I think I've got, by my count, about 6 or 8 more of y'all left, but I've been drawing everybody from the club, and I will get an illustration in of every single one of you. Nobody to pick on this week, but we'll give you an opportunity. Is there anybody who wants to boast, brag, share? Tell us all about Carrie's holding her hand up there. Carrie, what's going on in your world? Maybe some baseball or something?
I could get myself unmuted here. Actually, I wanted to share with you guys the 3rd grade class from Hydesville School. It's going to be really hard for you guys to see, but they gave me a thank you card yesterday when I happened to be going to the school in the morning. And I know you guys are not going to be able to see these. Maybe when we can meet in person, I'll pass it around, but you can see that. That's a picture of all the kids with their dictionaries. And I'll read you a couple of the little thank yous that they sent. It's a really cute card. It's like got several pages and all the kids put pictures in it and wrote in it. It's really cute. But some of my favorites were, thank you so much for the dictionary. I use it a lot. Mackenzie Mora. This one, thank you so much for the dictionary. I can't even spell dictionary. I should look it up in my dictionary. It was really, really cute. That was Izzy. Izzy wrote that. Lots of thank you for everything. Let's see, were there any other super cute? Thank you for the dictionary. And then of course, this was my son's class. Let's see, can you guys see that? That's me delivering the dictionaries. He's the only one I got to actually hug and touch. I stood at the door and kind of passed him out at the door. A while ago. This was a while ago. The teacher said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I've had this for a long time. I forgot to give it to you." So anyway, this is one of those things that the club does that I really, really love. I really love to participate in it. It's especially fun when it's my own kids' class, but I've done it for many, many, many years and always just love seeing the kids' faces light up. And, you know, kids these days don't use books as much, you know, sometimes. And so when they sit down, I mean, they sit down immediately and start thumbing through it and looking at the pictures and talking about it and get so excited. So that's one of those things that's really exciting for me, one of the projects we do. So just to share that with you guys, that thank you for doing the dictionaries. That's it.
Thank you, Carrie, and thank you for distributing them. Yeah, that it is an outstanding thing that we do every year. So, oh man, thanks for sharing that letter and some of those super cute notes. And while we're on the theme of some of these middle schools and grammar schools, we do scholarships. Well, we just started this, I think last year, Bob's year. The Lions Club had been giving out $100 scholarships to a lot of the grammar schools in our Eel River Valley, and they stopped gathering, right? And so there was this, you know, kind of lack in scholarships for these young kids. And so we stepped up to the plate last year, you know, just kind of as a one-time thing to kind of offset this lack of scholarships going out to those schools. And we decided to do it again this year. So I think there's about 8 schools and $100 that we're committing to some outstanding student that meets, that demonstrates qualities or attributes of the 4-way test. And we've gotten a word back. We've gotten the word back from Scotia School just yesterday. They have selected a student, and so here's what their 8th grade teacher wrote for us. And I thought it would be awesome to just share with the club some of the outstanding students that we're blessing with this. So Scotia has selected a student that demonstrates all 4 attributes of the 4-way test. The student is a leader in the classroom, on the court and field, and also shows extreme fairness with classmates and peers. The student not only shows fairness, but is also an example of trustworthiness for his community and the people that look up to him. He is a supportive friend to everyone he meets and is helpful to others who need it. He could be the definition of goodwill to others, as he is helpful and kind to others. He's also willing to help his classmates with their schoolwork, lend a hand with the teacher, work around the house to help his parents. The student never settles for anything less than the best. And the winner was Fabian Sanchez from Scotia. So awesome, outstanding, cool. Well, any last little notes or messages before I hand it over to our program chair? I see Bob Judefine's got a hand up. Hey, Bob, take the floor.
Simon, it is for most of us is or has just been tax time, and I want to give a shout out to our very quiet and modest accountant that does our taxes every year for free. She's sort of the epitome of a quiet Rotarian. Carrie Anderson, thank you so much for your hard work on our books and cleaning up the mess I make all year long, and just doing it year after year, and being so darn valuable. Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you, Carrie.
You know, Bob, to really make this a special moment, you should probably suggest that if she just were to add $15 more, she would be in the Century Club.
Wow, that's an opportunity right there.
That's sort of the opposite of appreciating your Ross.
That's how Rotarians appreciate each other.
It is.
I don't know.
Hey,
Carrie,
Simon, can I make one quick announcement?
Yes, please, Jennifer.
Just a quick one. So I sent out an email to everybody last week. The Rotary International Virtual Convention is coming up on June 12th through the 16th. So it's next week. As part of that, we typically do a district social at the International Convention. And so not to be foiled by having to go virtual, I'm putting together a virtual district social next Friday, June 11th at 6 p.m. It's actually going to be kind of fun. I've got a few things up my sleeve that will probably make it not your boring old virtual social. So it is free. There's no charge for it, but I am asking people to register. So inside that link in the email I sent, you can register for both the International Convention, if there's any of those sessions you want to jump into, as well as the virtual social next Friday. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. And then just the last little thing, I promised Doug I would do it. The district conference is October 8th and 9th, and that registration will be coming out soon. So, and that's going to be in person, I think in Roanoke Park or Santa Rosa, somewhere down there. So anyway, hope to see you guys all soon. Thank you for the moment.
Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, this has been a fun meeting. Thanks, everybody. Let's see. I guess we'll hand it over to our program chair, Erin Dunn, at this time, and she'll introduce this week's program. Erin, take it away.
Thank you, President Simon. We have with us today from the Humboldt Senior Resource Center, the PACE Director, Barbara LaHaie, and Adult Day Health Director, Andrea Bruhnke. And they're here this morning mostly because their program is fantastic, but we also have a brand new Humboldt Senior Resource Center facility here in Fortuna on the McLean campus. And we're so lucky to have that. And they're going to tell us more about the program. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Andrea.
Hey, thank you for having us. So yeah, my name's Andrea, and as she said, I'm the Director of Adult Day Health. And bear with me for a second. I am going to share my screen with you all. And I want to say I'm very impressed with this group's video compliance. It's like pulling teeth sometimes at our program, getting everybody on. Okay. So can you all see this? Yeah, okay, great.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta move my screen here out of the way. Okay, so so today it's going to be Barbara and myself. We do have a number of programs at the Humboldt Senior Resource Center, but we wanted to specifically talk about Adult Day Health and Redwood Coast PACE, because those are the two programs that have taken up shop here in Fortuna. I'm really excited to tell you guys about those. We also have the nutrition program that's going to be serving meals here as well. So we have our Eureka campus on California Street in Eureka. And then, like we said, here in Fortuna at the Gene Lucas Community Center. So Adult Day Health is it's a state licensed program, also goes by the name of Community-Based Adult Services. And it's for older adults and adults with chronic medical or mental health conditions, or adults over the age of 18 who have disabilities that are at risk of needing institutional care, so going into long-term care. And really the goal for Adult Health and for all of our programs is to delay and prevent that and keep our elders and people with disabilities living in the community and independent for as long as possible. And Adult Day Health also specifically, one of the reasons why many people come to us, community members, caregivers, is they're really looking for respite care. So at Adult Day Health, our participants come to us on a regular schedule. And while they're at the day center, they can get professional nursing services, so help with medication administration. We have RNs that work in the center. We have social workers. We provide individualized PT and OT maintenance programs. So we work with our PT and OT to develop a care plan, and then our therapy aides help them through that 2 to 3 days a week generally. We have staff working on the floor that can help with personal care, showers, restroom assistance, ambulation. Oftentimes, one of the draws for some of our participants, particularly those that are low income, is they don't have safe facilities to take a shower at home or assistance to do so. So that's one of the things that we help a lot of people with. We also have a therapeutic activity program. We try to individualize those for the participants' likes, interests. We provide a snack and a meal. And for some of our participants, that's really important. They have a lot of nutritional deficiencies, and access to meals can be hard for them. We also have mental health services. We have an RD that provides counseling and consultation, and a speech therapist as well. And then we also provide transportation to and from the day center. And we serve, our service area is, at this point, our furthest north participants are from McKinleyville and then down to Rio Dell. So the Fortuna Center now is specifically serving people in the Eel River Valley area. Most of our participants are paid for through partnership health plans. So people who qualify for Medi-Cal, that's, I would say, about 65% of our participants. We also have a handful of participants who are veterans. So the VA will generally pay for about 3 days of attendance per week. We also have the Redwood Coast Regional Center that provides services to people with disabilities, and they're case management services, and so they'll pay for a few days of attendance per week. And then we also have some people who pay privately. And then in addition to the Adult Day Healthcare program, we also have sort of a separate piece of Adult Day Health is Alzheimer's services. And we give one-on-one consultations to community members on the subject of or information and resources about dementia. We have a resource library in Eureka that people are free to come in and check things out. We've been kind of mailing things out now through COVID. We also host an annual conference for the community and professionals in the community that care for older adults on dementia. And I'm currently in the process of planning our conference in the fall, which will be in October, and it's going to be a virtual conference. And we also partner with the Redwood Caregiver Resource Center, and we offer support groups in Fortuna, Eureka, and the Redwood Caregiver Resource Center goes up to Del Norte County as well. So that is sort of adult day health in a nutshell. And like I said, one of the biggest reasons why people really seek out adult day health services is for the caregivers who are really pretty overwhelmed with having to care for a loved one with dementia or with a disability or chronic health conditions. And in addition to that, a lot of people are just seeking out some socialization. So it really kind of could definitely fit that need. And we've seen that that's been a huge issue right now during COVID. We are getting a ton of referrals as things are starting to open back up. So I will go ahead and let Barbara take it away with PACE.
Andrea, thank you all for having us. I want to make sure that we really appreciate and acknowledge the Fortuna community and the McLean Foundation for helping us build this beautiful facility, which is in this picture. We've been there since July of 2020, and it's been incredible both for the participants and frankly also the staff. So thank you so much for welcoming us into Fortuna and all the community support. So PACE stands for the Program for All-Inclusive Care for the Elderly. It is a health plan. I would say it's kind of a one-stop shop, a wraparound. And really our goal is to keep seniors in their community and in their homes for as long as possible. Our eligibility criteria, people do need to be 55. There's a criteria that we get certified by the state, which says without intervention, they could end up living in a skilled nursing facility. We want to make sure that they can live safely in their homes. And then we do have a service area very similar to what Andrea shared with adult day health, going as far south as Scotia and then as north as Trinidad. The PACE, what happens is we're the insurance plan. So generally the people who come into our program are on Medi-Cal and Medicare. We do take private pay because of the services that we provide. We have people in the community that really appreciate having that one-stop model and will pay privately. So here's a list of all the services that we provide. So we actually have a clinic, and in that clinic, our staff are on call 24 hours, 7 days a week. So if one of our participants is not feeling well on a Saturday, they're able to call and actually reach a primary care, which for many of us, we would not be able to do. We provide in-home support, so help with meal preparing, showering, light housekeeping. We provide transportation to all their medical appointments. And then you can see here, we actually provide day center services like what Andrea was sharing. But in addition to that, you know, we support their, they have to go to the emergency room. We're paying for all that out of our healthcare plan. We also have physical therapy. There's a beautiful gym in the building, which has been pretty exciting for our participants to use. And social work services, dental, you know, everything that your insurance provides and more. And then here's how to contact us. I don't know if anyone has any questions. I know that we are running out of time, but again, I would like to just express our appreciation and support for all of you and the community. And Frank Ramos, we're proud to have on our Senior Resource Center board. So thank you, Frank, for your support.
Hey, Barbara, I have a question for you, Ross Rowley.
Yes.
Where are COVID restrictions with you now? What are plans for opening up?
So we actually are open in both of our sites. One of the things with PACE services is nothing really changed in COVID except for the day center. We still needed to provide the services in the home. We have an awesome staff. I didn't lose any staff during this whole program. They just got on their PPE and headed out to the homes. We brought people into the clinic safely. So we at limited in terms of the day center, we're limited to, we're putting kind of 10 here in Eureka in the PACE building. And then we have around 10 there in Fortuna. And so we're gradually expanding. Most of our participants, I'd say about 85% have all been vaccinated. And our staff have been vaccinated as well. And again, we really want to thank public health. We did some advocating, but we were able to get people early vaccinated, which was really, really great.
Barbara, this is Dennis Scott.
Thank you, Dennis.
How you doing?
Thank you. Appreciate your support.
I do take a vehicle count almost every day when I walk my dog, see how many people are down at your center. But how many, you know, the PACE is so important to this community, and that's really why we felt strongly about building a facility for you. And because I watched what happened in Eureka, I followed some PACE participants as they went through the system. How many are on the waiting list?
Dennis, I can't hear you.
Dennis, it looked like you muted there.
How many are on the waiting list? And I want to know how soon they'll be opening. You'll be opening up fully, because there's just you know, out back where you guys play croquet and do all that kind of stuff, I haven't seen much action out there.
Yeah. So right now we have 219 in the PACE program. 35 of those are out of the Fortuna building. We don't have a waiting list. We were really fortunate during the COVID time to able to kind of catch up. So people are able to get into our program within 30 days, sometimes 60 days if there's a few hurdles. And then, you know, Dennis, what we're trying to do is gradually expand each week. So we've been saying, okay, let's add 3 more this week, 3 more this week in terms of attendance at the day center.
I see. Yeah, it's exciting to see all the cars down there and the activities. Yeah, we've had a couple of tours. We've taken a few bankers through, and people just don't know what the PACE program really represents. And
yeah.
The one thing though, Barb, you have to turn all your medical records over to the PACE for the PACE program to incorporate you as a client.
Well, we take over the medical care. So yeah, somebody has to be willing to give up their doctor and come into our clinic. We have people who meet our primary care and they typically go, oh, great, these are wonderful staff. But yeah, we provide all the primary care. In terms of turning over medical records, it kind of depends on if they have a specific condition that the medical director feels like she wants to get more information on.
And the one question that I asked Joyce when she was still there was, what happens when you have a situation where you have to take someone down to, for example, Stanford or the Bay Area? I mean, that's all included in the PACE program.
Yes, absolutely. And we do have people that unfortunately, given our healthcare here in Humboldt County, we do use UCSF and UC Davis and Stanford for specialty medical care when needed.
Thank you. It's really a great program. Welcome to Fortuna.
Thank you. We love it.
Outstanding. Any other questions there for our guests, Andrea or Barbara? Okay. Well, let's see. Thank you so very much for coming and meeting with our club and talking about the outstanding things that you guys got going on here in Fortuna. We're blessed to have you. Let's see. Before I get into, we usually do a drawing at the end of the meeting. About to do that, but hey, Heck Wood, you out there? Heck Wood, yeah. Heck, you know, I always threaten people at the beginning of the meeting, and you had your mic unmuted. You just started talking. We heard a whole conversation. I had to mute you. That's worth a $5 fine, but I hear you're in the Century Club. So as a stroke of opportunity, I'm going to let you pass that along to somebody who may need a little bit more help.
Carrie Anderson.
Wow. It sounds like somebody just got inserted underneath a bus. One of your friends.
Actually, I was gonna say anyway, why don't we go ahead and put me in the Century Club?
Hey, there we go. Oh, Gary has made it to the Century Club. Thank you so very much. We're getting just about all y'all in there. How many more people we got left, Ross, that maybe haven't made it yet? Just three. Just three. Three or four? All right. Maybe shoot me a list so I can really put on the pressure the next couple meetings here. Okay. Now a drawing, shall we? You can win Untold Fortunes. Untold Fortunes or
$50.
Or $50. All right, I'm going to dip in here. I'm going to find a ticket. Let's see whose name will be on the ticket. Rick Center. Oh God, let's see. I'm dropping it everywhere here. Rick Center. Rick, how you doing out there? Charter president.
I'm doing fine. Thank you. Thank you.
You think you're going to be lucky today? What do you think?
No.
No. Hey, prepare for the worst, expect the best, or one of those things. Let's see. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Let's go with, oh, you just did this recently. Fine Master. I don't know. Should we get a new ball? New ball.
Sure, get a new ball.
I'm the president. I can make those decisions, right?
Yeah, I'm taking notes. Go ahead.
Oh, how about a craft talker to $25 fine? I like that ball even better. What do you say, Rick Center?
Craft talk. We haven't heard from Rick Center in ages.
Yeah.
I'll pay 25.
Oh, he'll pay 25. Okay. Well, you're in the Century Club. What do you want to put it to? Foundation?
I'll put it toward the foundation.
Foundation, 25 to foundation. Outstanding. Thank you so much, Rick. Well, before we part, I want to thank our guest speakers this morning, Andrea and Barbara. Thank you so very much for coming, telling us about all the good things that are cooking here. Thank you, Jennifer Strong, for making the drive up. Thank you so very much. It was great to see you participating in the art dialogue. Thank you so much, Bill Morrill, if you're still here. Yeah, you are. Bill, glad to have you again. And thank you, each and every one of the club members, for showing up every week. In-person meetings, June 16th, or bust, who knows, but that's what we're planning on. All right. Y'all have a wonderful Rotary day, and we'll see you soon. This club meeting is adjourned.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you. Hope to see you soon.